Again, reincarnation is one of those very, very, very difficult topics. And it's, the Dalai Lama says he can't remember his past lives. Shirley MacLaine can. So, already we've got a little bit of a problem there, if you know what I mean. There's a simple answer that doesn't really answer what you're saying, but it's the ultimate answer, and it's the great phrase that Shankara gave, which is the Lord is the one and only transmigrant. The only thing that transmigrates is I amness. And so that is something you will eternally be reborn, because there is only one I amness. Now that's the other thing to remember. I have a sense of I amness, you have a sense of I amness, and so on. But that I amness, that pure empty knowing, that vast open I amness, is free of objects. So if I'm witnessing all objects, I am not that, until I get to this pure open I amness, that's exactly how you feel, and that's exactly how you feel, and that's exactly how you feel, and exactly how you feel. The overall number of I amnesses is one. Erwin Schrödinger had a wonderful phrase, co-founder of modern quantum mechanics. Consciousness is a singular, the plural of which is unknown. And that is the same for I amness. So that's sort of the ultimate answer, but it doesn't get to the other relative, does the finite self transmigrate? And that indeed is a very, very difficult issue. The karmapas, for those of you who are not aware of it, many in the Tibetan tradition, many lineages have what's called tulkus, which are recognized reincarnations from previous teachers. But they're simply recognized by teachers who are alive now, and they say, oh, you are a reincarnation of so-and-so, because like you remind me of his hairstyle, or whatever it is they use. The karmapas were the first to do a very, very dicey game. They said, I'm going to leave a note telling you where and when I'm going to be reborn. I'm doing this consciously. Here it comes. And they're known for being the first lineage to actually do this. And every karmapa, according to the traditions, has left a note specifying where to find me, when, and so on. Now, there's a real simple way to find out if this is true. Show us the note. And at this day and age, there's no responsible reason for not doing that. Not doing that is a power trip. It's mythology, and it's unfortunate. Now, I believe it might be possible. And incidentally, I've studied the Kala Rinpoche. Was a big, big influence on me, as was Trungpa Rinpoche. But it's time to get serious about this stuff. Many of the great traditions arose in a background era of magic and mythic. And a lot of that baggage stays with them. It's not bad. It's just what happened. But in today's age, modernity brought a demand for evidence. And post-modernity brought the realization that it's culturally context-bound. That's why in the Western tradition, you can find deeply, deeply enlightened saints and sages like St. Teresa of Avila, St. John of the Cross, Meister Eckhart. When they're having interior visions, not one of them has had a vision of an angel with 10,000 arms. Avalokiteshvara doesn't just reside in the East. But that form does, because that's the part that's contributed by the cultural context, the lower left quadrant. So we have to show evidence, and we have to show an understanding of cultural contextness, or we're dead in the water. So the demand now is, okay, let's do it. You're up, leave the note, show us where, we're going to be waiting. Get the video camera, okay, lady. And I'm serious. I don't mean to make light of it. These are very, very profound things. I do not mean to be sacrilegious. But not opening this to evidence is the essence of power. It really is. And so that part we have to look at. Does that kind of reincarnation occur? It's one of the very few things that I'm agnostic on. I don't know. The evidence is mixed. It's confusing. The Tibetans were probably, if anybody did it, the Tibetans did. And that's why the Karmapas are the ones that we would look at. But they maintain also a very simple, and I think this part is true if there is reincarnation, that there's really only two things that you carry with you from life to life. And one is the repository of your virtue, and that's on the formal side or the finite side. And the other is the repository of your wisdom. Now, wisdom in Buddhism is, in most of the traditions, is defined in one way: your capacity to understand emptiness. And virtue is defined as your capacity to do good works, ethics. So what you carry with you are not specific memories. Specific memories are located in your brain. Your brain is material. It dies. So now that's the general notion of this. It's not, oh, I remember being, a slave working on the pyramids or stuff. So you have to be very careful about that. Some people think that they do have specific memories, and we just don't know about that. It's very hard to get into that. But I think if there's reincarnation, the notion that you carry the repository of your wisdom and your virtue makes sense.